Hi Cancer, I'm Ronique and welcome to Scorpio Soul Time. I hope you all are doing well. Welcome to your March 2025 monthly tarot reading. This is where we're going to look at where the astrological energies can help you or possibly hinder you in this really dynamically changing month. I will tell you, Cancer, that this is a big month because we have eclipse season beginning. We also have Mercury and Venus both entering their retrogrades. We'll also have the Sun conjunct Neptune, the North Node, and Neptune entering Aries. So lots going on this month, Cancer. If you haven't already checked out those mid-February to March career readings, I'll leave a link below. Okay, Cancer, let's go week by week. I've left all of the important dates below. Let's go. All right, so we start off that first week of March, Page of Pentacles, as well as the Hermit card, Virgo energy there. We will be having a Virgo eclipse this month. Second week of March finds you with the Page of Wands in the reverse, as well as the Nine of Wands. Third week of March finds you with the Ten of Pentacles in the reverse, as well as the Six of Swords. That is that eclipse week right there. And by the time we get to the end of March, Queen of Pentacles in the reverse, as well as the Ten of Cups. So you do have the Ten of Cups and the Ten of Pentacles, both family cards, but we also have a lot of energy around needing to think through our finances, possibly getting to an end of a cycle there. Let's go ahead and ask Spirit to send you a card representing the energy that you bring into March that you possibly could have had back in February. Spirit, if you can send my Cancerians a card. You all did just have Mars move direct in your sign, so I'm sure that was very helpful. And you have the Two of Wands in the reverse. Now, I do think it's interesting that you have this Two of Wands and this Page and Nine of Wands. So many of you all could have had some type of opportunity to look forward to back in February, but I feel like something was stalled. Maybe you weren't able to see clearly. You didn't have all the information. I do think that many of you all were possibly looking to branch out into what you wanted to do in the future. And I do think this had something to do with your family. Possibly someone became ill in your family, or there was something that held you back from making a final decision. And Spirit is letting you know that as you enter into March, it's going to be a great time for you to reassess whatever it is here back in February that you didn't pull the trigger on, because I do think that that slowdown of Mercury and Venus will be beneficial, okay? And we always think of Mercury retrogrades as being negative, but they can actually help us tremendously when it comes to having to think through important decisions. So let's go ahead and ask Spirit to send you an oracle message. Spirit, if you can send my Cancerians an oracle message. They're trying to come out, but they haven't come out yet, have they? For the month of March. And look at that, Seven of Earth. So another earth sign, the Seven of Earth says, seeds well planted, a temporary pause in action, unnecessary worry. Now, I think it's interesting that it says a temporary pause in action. As I was just saying, Mercury and Venus retrograde can be a really good time to slow down, give you more time to contemplate, to research, to strategize what you're doing. This Seven of Earth is telling you that this is not a month for you to be making hasty decisions. It's going to be a time of slowdown for you all. And I think it's going to be really helpful for you once you come out in April. So I think that's really nice to see, Cancer, especially with that Mars moving direct in your sign. I think many of you all are trying to figure out what is your next course of action in a certain area of life, especially with that Two of Wands that came up there for you. All right, so let's go week by week, Cancer, and see what other messages Spirit has for you. So We are off the heels of that Piscean new moon on February 27th. Many of you all could have been making decisions or planting new seeds as to how to end a chapter back in 2024. I do think that Piscean energy new moon is asking you to wrap up things that were no longer useful for you. And I do think that that March 1st, Venus moving retrograde in Aries, as well as Mercury entering its retrograde shadow, could be something that you're starting to retreat from the world. You're taking some time for yourself, Cancer. And I think that Page of Pentacles, many of you are contemplating new ideas for finding money sources, new ideas for possibly a different direction in your career, as well as just ways to not worry so much about money. That's why I just heard no longer worrying or not so stressed out about money. And I think that Seven of Earth says it all. It says unnecessary worry. So I do think that this Hermit, Page of Pentacles, by the time you get to March 3rd, once Mercury enters Aries, this is going to be conversations that are a little more deliberate. You're going to be able to get your words out better than possibly in the past. But I do think that Mercury retrograde could pose a slowdown. So just be careful of what kind of information does come out and maybe not act on it during that first few weeks of the month. Okay, so as we move into the second week of March, this is when we have interesting with the wands here, because I do think wands usually signal some type of passion project or something that you have been trying to push forward. I do think that this page and that page, some kind of information is being brought to you during the month of March. But with that Nine of Wands, it's almost like this information I don't know what to do with. I've just come off of a long road of information overload in February. And I do think that by the time you get to mid-March, this is when we do have Mercury and Venus conjunct in Aries on the 11th. So there could be some better conversations with loved ones at this time, but I think that you're also taking a break. I think you're stepping back, Cancer, and you're not trying to figure everything out like you were back in February. I do think by the time you get to that March 12th, when we have Sun conjunct Saturn in Pisces at 22 degrees, make sure you're keeping your emotions out of conversations dealing with work and power plays. But the 14th is one of those major eclipses. We have that lunar eclipse at 23 degrees of Virgo. This full moon will highlight what details you need to start focusing on. And I do think that that Nine of Wands, that is really that slowdown of you like figuring out, okay, this part of my everyday life is not working for me anymore. I need to figure that out. And I do think that that Hermit card, that first week of March, could be pointing towards some type of information that comes out around that full moon in Virgo. And I do think that that third week of March, when we have the Ten of Pentacles in reverse, Six of Swords, some of you all are moving away from something that is no longer serving you and your family. I do think that that is really when we're coming into that Mars. Let me see, I just lost my train of thought. We're coming into Mercury retrograde March 15th through April 7th. So I do think this is the time where you all are really figuring out, okay, what is no longer working for me and my family? Some of you all could decide to move. You might start having conversations about moving away from a neighborhood or an area that's no longer serving you. I do think that the Sun entering Aries on the 20th, this is the brand new astrological new year. This is when I do think this Ten of Pentacles is like some family member could be in need, or you could need to stay with them. You could need to leave your home to go stay with elders or someone possibly who's in the hospital. It feels like something here around family matters comes up around the Sun in Aries on the 20th. And by the time we get down to the 27th is when Venus retrograde enters Pisces. So there could be these conversations around money, well-being, taking care of yourself. So just be careful here. I do think around that third, fourth week of March, I do think there could be a loved one in need, or you could reach out to someone asking them to help you and they need to leave their home or temporarily help you out. Okay, so I do think that it's going to be a tumultuous month just because eclipse season as well as Mercury and Venus retrograde. I do think though by time you are ending March, there's some type of happy ending here, which is really nice to see. I do think that March 29th, when we have that solar eclipse at 9 degrees of Aries, this is the last new moon eclipse in Aries that we will have in that Aries and Libra eclipse cycle that we started back in April of 2023. Something with your family and conversations around money could come up around this time. Think back over these last 2 years. How have you grown with your family? What has changed with your family? Have you all moved? Has someone gotten a new job? Has someone lost a job? Is there children that have grown? There's something here around your family because you have that 10 of Pentacles, 6 of Swords, Queen of Pentacles, and 10 of Cups. That is family. That is money. And also, once we get to the end of March, we will have Neptune entering Aries on the 30th, and then Mercury retrograde conjunct Neptune in Pisces on the 29th. So this is finalities. This is endings here. This is really figuring out what it is you still want to do and what you want to leave behind. So I think this is going to be a really good time for you, Cancer, to get really clear on what motivates you to get rid of whatever is no longer needed in your life, especially in the money areas of your life, and then figure out what you need to move away from for your family. So really big month, Cancer. Tell me what you all are looking forward to. Take a look at your sun, moon, and rising signs in this video series, and I'll talk to you later.